if that's the case, what the hell are you worried about? If we can't win the argument on abortion in the Democratic debates, supposedly, then what's the concern? We know what the concern is. You want the court to put its thumb on the democratic process, and that's what this is about. I would also note that as we're looking here about what we're going to deal with next week with the hearing and talking about the leaked opinion and talking about Roe versus Wade, that my colleagues on the other side of the aisle sure as hell weren't bothered by this leak, but were when there were leaks that showed a disdain for conservative Hispanic Miguel Estrada in 2003, when there were memos outlining specific opposition by my Democratic colleagues, Democrats in the Senate, trying to take down, tear down, and destroy Miguel Estrada, specifically black and white language, because he's a conservative Hispanic. Oh man, can't talk about that memo because that was a leak of an internal Democrat memo. No, that was a horror that we couldn't talk about, my colleagues on the other side of the aisle. But crickets, now that the Supreme Court has had a leak of an opinion coming from SCOTUS. I've listened to some amusement about talking about how the court was missing out on having Merrick Garland on the court, that paragon of moderation, don't you recall, from all of those talking points of the left, that he was the moderate, right? The moderate who just ruled that mental health must be considered for known criminals applying for asylum coming into the United States. That paragon of moderation targeting parents in coordination with the National School Board Association. Like, everyone understands what this is all about, and it's all always come back down to Roe, and we'll have more to talk about that next week with respect to that case. I've heard enough from my colleagues on the other side of the aisle talking about how that is going to, because we couldn't, I think the quote from somebody on the other side of the aisle, we can't win that issue. We can't win that issue in public debate and discourse. Well then, if that's the case, what the hell are you worried about? If we can't win the argument on abortion in the Democratic debates, supposedly, then what's the concern? We know what the concern is. You want the court to put its thumb on the democratic process, and that's what this is about. I yield back.